Let's get on into draft for game 2 then. And as you said, both teams actually had relatively good performances yesterday that we've been seeing. It can be very difficult to actually get onto this XL backline without taking a huge amount of poke. They have engaged as well with the Ornn and the Jarvan, and that is an Irelia locked in for Adam in the top lane.
I am not a fan. Personally, I think one of the most important things for Irelia is being able to get on top of your target, right? So the first thing is Lulu, well, when you dive in, her polymorph is extremely obnoxious. And if Irelia gets hit by the polymorph, well, then that's going to ruin everything for you. But she has to sacrifice her own health in order to do it, which means that if she's not able to land any of the Qs herself, that could be pretty bad as Irelia. Is Adam going to get solo killed?
He has to flash. Finn held the flash himself, but Adam on the receiving end of Ornn.
This is what I was talking about, though. Like, Irelia at level 1 into Ornn, really not that strong. And Finn punishes him rightly. So now Adam has lost his flash. He will be forced to TP back to lane, which isn't really the worst thing in the world, but it's a huge advantage for Finn. He can just... Okay. Yes, I remember when Soraka was, in fact, in the meta. Now, you'll notice that there's a stacking wave in top lane. That means that Advienne has made his way up. He doesn't care about being spotted. Their whole goal here is to deny Adam as much farm as possible.
I mean, Adam doesn't have flash either. Like, if he gets hit with a single brittle, this is a very easy knockup. There's the... Just look for the polymorph. What can he do? You can't do anything against that. The power of the polymorph. It tasted purple for XL as they get their first kill on the board. Vest has bladed steel caps. Yeah, you can ult him with the Syndra, but Unleashed Power isn't going to chunk him out too quickly. He's just going to be a very beefy boy on the front line. And now Xmadi in for a very difficult situation as well. Jumps away, limit low. And you can use the other ones for sight, but that one is used for killing. Patrick able to secure the kill with Super Mega Death Rocket and walk out pretty much unscathed. Curtain Call answers back, but Advienne can just block up the shots for XL. And it's the second kill on the board.
Nice dive. Just well executed overall from XL. Good use of the package alongside the engage from Marcoon. They have the numbers advantage, but they're not going to risk contesting it right now for XL. This is very much an example of turns as Matty.
Oh, nice Gale Force to get away from the Call of the Forge God. And as you say, XL now taking their turn in the mid lane. Rifthold will get another charge in. This tower should go down as Patrick can just chunk it out. Curtain Call opens up. Cinkrof going in with the Crescent Sweep. Won't be able to knock him back far enough. Marcoon able to EQ combo out of there. Nuclear Int TPing in, as is Adam. And this could be a good flank position for BDS. Jumped away by XL, but Marcoon has to pop the stopwatch. Adam trying to dive onto the backline. Limit's going to pick up the first kill. What can Nuke Duck and Patrick do? Not enough. The heals from Limit keeping BDS tanky enough, healthy enough to survive through the burst that is Jinx Corki.
Good use of the teleports from BDS there to find a successful flank onto XL, get themselves 2 kills, and they should be able to get their first tower of the game as well. Really great play there to punish the fact that a lot was unavailable for XL. They wanted to try and reset. They were able to find something back, so great play there from BDS.
The package to get away from that one. Finn not in the position to fight this. Vanguard Jet stuck to wide. There's the flawless duet. But look at the CC chain onto Adam. Baited and outsmarted. XL waited and they found their bite. Cinkrof now forced to use an ultimate of his own just to keep himself alive and retreat back to his own mid lane. XL will work their way down towards this dragon, spawning in 8 seconds time.
So that's a little bit more of what I expected to happen to the Irelia in these fights. Admittedly, Adam did land while the E wasn't quite able to land the ultimate onto Patrick, but Patrick then flashes away, and once Adam is committed, there's nothing that he can do. He's now in the fight. There's no way that he's getting out of that, and he finds himself in a 1 versus 4, meaning that he very quickly loses his life and costs his team the draw. Both these teams leverage it. You can see there was one control ward there, but look, Finn lurking around in the fog of war. Xmadi has no idea.
He has got flash, he has got barrier, and he has got Cinkrof just around the corner. Call of the Forge God coming out, flash brittle. Oh my goodness, it's just unfair. That's a tank! A tank shouldn't be able to do that. Xmadi burns both his barrier and his flash and wish and dies in the end. Anyway, but perhaps Patrick's going to be turned back around on Wild Goat, keeping him alive just enough to survive for the moment. But the Vanguard Jet slowed him enough for BDS to find the chase, and now the chase can really continue. Nuke Duck has to put the damage down for his team. Marcoon only gets a ward. Double goes down for Nuclear Int. And BDS have been able to close that gold gap once again.
If that's not a summary for AD carry in 2022, I don't know what is. Both AD carries falling short right there. Patrick did not have his flash, which meant that if he walked through that Aurelia ultimate, he would have lost his life. So he was, look, he's in stealth, looking for the flank. Oh, and this is a good flank.
Oh, cut and call coming out. Call of the Forge God has been used. Who's he looking for? Nuclear in, the first target. There's the Witch coming out as XL actually forced away, and Finn finds Lonesome against 5 members of BDS. But what can Advien and Patrick do? Patrick has no mana. He can't change to the Rockets, and because of that, he's rooted and taken out. BDS able to wipe this fight down in the bottom side river. Nuke Dog will have to flash himself. Dragon was secured, though, by XL.
I mean, that flank was very good from Finn, but there was absolutely zero follow-up from the rest of his team. XL was so focused on securing that Drake that they leave themselves completely exposed to the collapse from the rest of BDS. They end up losing their AD carry, they lose their frontliner, and now BDS are beelining it straight towards the Baron as they should. They know they have the numbers advantage, but Finn has TP. This isn't the fastest Baron, and he will be up in 8 seconds' time.
It's a pretty slow Baron, as you say. TP coming out from Nuke because he's going to join this one. Clears out the mid wave, 8,000 HP on it. Advien stepping forward. Marcoon getting in there as well. Has the smite. Of course, levels don't matter, even though Marcoon's at a 2-level disadvantage. Smite equal with Cinkrof. Finn on his way. Call of the Forge God not up. More vision in the pit. Nuclear in. Look at that damage. Limit forced away as well. Marcoon, EQ combo, Smite secured, but it's Cinkrof that gets it. But look at the damage coming out from XL immediately afterwards. As Nuke Duck can stay alive, they can wipe this fight. Limit across the wall trying to do what he can, but what he can do is not too much. X-Matty dies and only Cinkrof and Limit survive.
Still, BDS walk away with the Baron, but what a combo there from Finn. Are in a very good position for XL. But let's have a look now. Finn not trying to flank, just playing front to back with his team, which I think actually makes way more sense.
Yep.
But
There's
now the TP. Okay, I like this. Let's see where the engage is going to come through. The traps are thrown down. Cinkrof looking for an engage.
Look at that damage on X-Matty. Already half of his health gone. The big one coming out as well. Call of the Forge God has been used. Cinkrof tries to get in the midst of them, but with the Crescent Sweep, he cannot survive. And now XL can open up. That's a double bomb if I've ever seen one! Hextech upgrades all round for XL as they just snipe out Limit. Nuclear in will recall behind them, and he's spotted. If you recall in the camouflage, you are uncamouflaged. Nuclear in spotted out by that ward. Marcoon's going to go in with the Cataclysm, locks Nuclear in place. Back he comes, Marcoon, with that GA. He built that second item, and now Nuclear in. Oh, he's on another ward. He's back. He manages to flash away. Finn still on the chase. Advien coming in as well. Perhaps looking for the kill himself. Adam stayed around for a long time. Definitely the inhibitor to follow. You have to feel as Patrick forces X-Matty away. XL, get the inhib, get the Drake, get out. And for the moment, actually looks like... Wait, is there a TP on Nuclear in? There is. He's going to get the recall up. There's a TP. XL outnumbered right now. Adam dashing forward, exhausted. Only lands the Vanguard Jets onto one, and now Finn is going to join the party. Down towards the bottom lane. It's a 4v4 brawl. Stun, lands, Advien survives. Nuke Duck does not shut down, and it goes over to Limit. Perhaps not the target that you wanted for it. Marcoon farming in his jungle right now. Doesn't really want to join his team. Advien will survive with a heal. And the tower stands and forces BDS away.
Okay, so BDS at the very least get themselves a kill back. With the Baron spawning in 15 seconds, they may very well look to force this objective. Now, the Baron is started off, as we talked about, the TP going to be used from Adam. That means that Finn will be a little late to the party.
Remember, Nuke doesn't have TP either. And, doesn't matter, Marcoon doesn't have a life. XL immediately have to back away. Good CC and the damage combo out of Nuclear in there to make sure they could get this Baron. And because of that, they will go into a gold lead. Team BDS now 2,000 gold ahead.
Rocket going to come through, unfortunately, for XL. Too little, too late.
It's a bit too intense of a game for the name I usually use for it, which is what we're not going to do. Marcoon. Oh, that's a lot of damage onto him. Cinkrof stepping forward as well. Marcoon down at 2x Matty. As the curtains open, the curtains close, perhaps on XL, and Patrick is forced away as well. Advien will fall, and BDS... out of the darkness, out of the camouflage, out of the smog. They find 3 quick kills. Baron still remains on them for 15 seconds. And it could be the beginning of the end for XL.
And just like that, XL lose 3 members. The TP is going to come through from Nuke Duck. He's trying to clear out as many of these waves as possible, but BDS have their eyes set on the mid lane. The bot lane they can't really do much about right now. The question is, can XL stop the end of the game? 14 seconds. It's close, but with 5 members of BDS, it all comes down to what can Nuke Duck do.
Nuclear in has flash in just a second as well. Adam trying to get onto the back line, trying to get onto Patrick. Cinkrof gets onto Nuke Duck. Super Mega Death Rocket isn't going to be enough, and both the Nexus Towers have already fallen. BDS, after being behind for so long, have been able to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat as they take down XL and claim their first win ever in the LEC.
And just like that, the game ends. We talked so much about the scaling, but this Jarvan in the late game was so squishy, going for the GA second, kept getting one-popped. And a lot of credit needs to go to Nuclear In. He was finding a lot of great picks.
Yeah.
The fact that he survived after also recalling in that fog zone was crucial because he could go back to base, TP in, allow BDS to get the Baron, and there are all these little decisions that ultimately led up to BDS being able to turn this around and get themselves a big win over XL because things were looking dicey for them. It didn't look super great for them in terms of the fights, but they were able to turn things around.